Gold's about to fly in the first. Under starters orders here, one playing up near the inside might be Liston's Lass. It's drawn alongside the favourite Sharla Gold. Off and racing now. Sharla Gold anticipated the start brilliantly, and he pounces on the early lead. Led from Apex, and out wide was Steel Strike early. Behind those, Private Life getting into fourth placing. Liston's Lass a bit keen on the outside of Flying for Fun as they bunch up here in midfield. Kundabung gets a rails run. Pro Rata being restrained but is over racing, passed by Tartaglia, and the last one was Jolly Good Fellow. Sharla Gold, the favourite, in control. He seems to settle better today. 550 metres to go. 3/4 Apex. One away third, the inside Private Life. He's closer today. Off the bit fourth, the well-back Steel Strike under pressure before the turn. And then Kundabung. Sharla Gold held together by Par. Comes around the bend, 300 metres to go. Apex a length away and looming. Then Private Life. Steel Strike not doing enough. Early in the straight, Sharla Gold kicking. Private Life shouldering into the clear now and given full bore. He's after Sharla Gold. Private Life and Sharla Gold fighting it out with Private Life going home too well. And Private Life is a good winner. Beat Sharla Gold and Apex. Fourth in was Steel Strike. Further back in the field when they pull up was Kundabung, Jolly Good Fellow, Tartaglia. Next over was Pro Rata, Liston's Lass and Flying for Fun.
Private Life, that race experience has proven telling there. Had a beautiful run in transit, leaders back, and for those who took the $1.12 about a certain James McDonald in the Jockey Challenge, this was probably the one race you thought you might not pick up a point or two. In the end, you've got the three. Sharla Gold looked to have every chance up on speed, just bumped into one a bit too good. Apex in for third, and Steel Strike ultimately running fourth. So it was fought out by those that were up in speed. The leading quartet to the point of the turn were those that fought it out, but it was the horse leaders back that has shown a bit of strength late to take it out. Private Life for Chris Waller.
Yeah, the market got this one wrong, didn't it? So on debut it went the other way, heavily supported, and today it went the other way. He got out to $6 on the NOP on the back of a lovely ride there from James McDonald, just parked in behind the speed and the main danger, and once he bumped into the clear and just moved Apex out of the way, he was really the only horse you wanted to be on over the concluding stages, and he ran right through the line. So a nice performance from him. No real excuses for your favourite Sharla Gold from out in front, maybe 1100 metres, just a bridge too far for him at the moment. He's all speed. Apex encouraging debut, and not sure what to make of Steel Strike. He was one of the first horses to come under pressure, but he's still stuck on okay at the finish, so he'll be better for the run as well.
Well done, Chris. Congratulations. That was a really promising win, and a horse that showed a bit on debut, and now leaders back, got a beautiful run, but was strong late. It was nice to see.
Yeah, he did. It was a lovely ride from James from an experience point of view. He put him there, as you said, and he always looked like he was travelling well and pushed his way out and won like a good horse.
Tell us a little bit about that, the importance of race experience for youngsters like this.
It's important for when you're taking on better horses, and that's what he'll be doing as a 3-year-old. So probably go out now. It's getting a bit too late to get to Queensland, but we did want to give him 2 runs as a 2-year-old for that exact reason. Experience, come back as a 3-year-old, grow, develop, and yeah, he should continue to improve.
Okay, it's a long way out, but do you have a particular race in mind as a 3-year-old, or are you just thinking he'd be better as a 3-year-old?
You probably got me at the right moment. I'm always a bit talkative after a race when they win. Look, honestly, he could be a Guineas horse. Yeah, a mile as a 3-year-old.
Okay, beautiful. We look forward to that. Best of luck with your runners later in the day, and hopefully we can have a chat ahead of one of those.
Thank you very much.
Well done to Chris Waller there. Always nice to get a little bit of a sider. Plans can change, Brad, with these horses, and you never know who's going to step up to the mark and who's maybe going to find their mark sooner rather than later. But it is nice to hear that they have high expectations for Private Life. Start number 2 today, and good to get that win on the board.
Yeah, and you so often see it with the stable, don't you? Chris Waller's stable, late maturing 2-year-olds, they generally start coming into their own. So he won't be going to Queensland by the sounds of it, but he's certainly a horse to keep an eye on when he comes back in next time, because invariably there'd still be a stack of improvement to come from him. So exciting times ahead. And it's worth keeping an eye on these midweek 2-year-old winners, because yeah, they're often progressive horses that have just taken that little bit longer than the rest of them. But we'll speak to James and we'll just ask him in terms of what he took from that first up performance, from the second up performance. But I do like the way that he really ran through the line. We've got James coming over in a moment. I'll jump on this side of the microphone. Well done, James. Nice way to start the day.
Yeah, excellent. He's a really nice horse. Expected that on debut, but Canterbury track just tripped him up. Having his first start, got back, and it's hard to make ground. So it was basically a second trial, and he come here today, presented it in really good order, and ran like a true professional.
And was that just the benefit of race experience?
Yeah, he only had one trial going into that, and he's shown plenty at home. And in that first trial he did have, it was a sign of a good quality horse. Threw him in the deep end, and he it was just the race pattern that beat him that day. Even though he was beaten by a good horse, he was always riding on a wall. He was always going to take off.
And a quick comment on the track. How did the soft 7 feel?
Rode pretty well, to be fair. Well, it's easy when you're winning, but yeah, definitely wouldn't be surprised of an upgrade.
Well done.
Yeah, good stuff.
And he moves up into line. Last one to come up is Be Real here. And they look set to go. Now on a soft 6 here at Warwick Farm, and they're set. Off and racing immediately now. Professor Pickles and Little Genie were the first two out. Favourites 1, 2 in the early stages, getting company now. Sliding through was Fiddler's Green and Sensory using that inside draw to probe forward. So when they head to the back straight, Professor Pickles had to do a little bit of work, but he finds the lead now. 1,200 metres to go. Professor Pickles 1 length on Fiddler's Green, a little keen. Sensory's third, the inside, and Little Genie, the favourite's going to end up 1 out and 1 back as they enter the back section. Dapana, Tiger Town, and 3 lengths to Be Real. Professor Pickles, 1,000 to go, shows the way 3/4 Fiddler's Green as they look to slacken. 1 away third, the inside was Sensory. Little Genie continuing to enjoy a nice run in the race. Next, the inside, Dapana, followed by Tiger Town, and 2.5 away last of all is the Grey Galloper, and that is Be Real. Professor Pickles 1 length in front. He works to the side here. Bayless looking to quicken. It's Professor Pickles, 600 metres to go, showing the way from Fiddler's Green, which travels up on the bridle. Little Genie goes 3 wide now before the turn. McDonald wants to take closer order here on the favourite. Sensory is off the bit, then Tiger Town to the turn. And Little Genie looming up 3 wide to Professor Pickles, Fiddler's Green. The three of them head into the straight together. 1.5 to Tiger Town running on. 250 metres to run. Little Genie in front under the Persuader. Tiger Town's a threat the outside, then Be Real. 100 to go. Little Genie trying to dig in. Tiger Town closer all the time. Tiger Town's hit the lead from Little Genie. It's Tiger Town just in front, and Tiger Town has worried Little Genie out of it, and Be Real's run third, followed by Professor Pickles, Dapana, Fiddler's Green, and Sensory.
Or Greg Hickman take a bow. Tiger Town returning to the winners list. Won back-to-back races before a last start 6th and now gets its 3rd win in 4 starts. $15.60 and $5.50 on the local tote. Even better, S-Tab and U-Tab. Beats Little Genie, and as mentioned in the call, just worried her out of it. Be Real was one hell of a run. So they've ridden stone motherless for most of the race, about 3 lengths, ridden as cold can be, and closed off to only go down maybe 3/4 of a length. That is a huge run, and backs up that last start victory there for Brad Widdop and Tyler Schiller. And I think the 5 will ultimately run 4th, that being Professor Pickles. But a little bit of an upset here in the second. Tiger Town picking up career win number 4.
Yeah, Greg Hickman playing at home. Always be wary of Greg at Warwick Farm, and this horse improved from last start in the Wagga Guineas, where he did finish midfield. The question he had to answer today was just running out a strong mile, and he's come out and emphatically done so, because he knocked off a short price favourite with a bit of a boom on her in Little Genie. All honours to the winner, Little Genie. She will improve from that, but I thought she had every possible chance. James McDonald rode her like the best horse in the race, navigated off the turn, plenty of clear air to click through her gears, and just wasn't good enough that last little bit. She can win something similar though in the coming weeks. And you're right about the eye catcher, Be Real. He was tailed off 3 lengths at one point, but she's really picked up that last little bit. So a nice filly going forward in her own right.
Yeah, well, unlike the start prior, where they were afforded every opportunity from barrier 1, I guess, Brad Widdop and Tyler Schiller, they thought, let's just go back, take our medicine, and try and steam over the top of them late. It was a huge run, but they'll have to settle for 3rd. But I think you made the right point. If you're going to venture to Warwick Farm, you've always got to scan an eye over the fields, because there's every chance Greg Hickman's going to cause a surprise at some point, and that's exactly what he's done here. Truth be told, you didn't have that much luck last time out, did you?
Certainly didn't, and the horses that finished in front of him come out and wagger in the guineas down there and performed very well again. And his work's been good here. It's got a week and a home track, and he's really good.
You haven't been afraid to travel him, venturing off to the country to pick up a few wins, and he's been in really good form the past 4 starts.
Well, we do that with most of our horses, just to give them confidence. And the thing that turned him around was we put a tongue tie on him. And I'm seeing everything good at the track through the week, and then we've got to do something, so we put a tongue tie on him, and that's when he come out and won those 2 races.
How'd your Pirata pull up in the first?
No, he pulled up good. Like, if you had a look at him in the ring, he's just still probably 6 months or 12 months away, but his run was good. They ran home in a fast time, and he was chasing, and he might win a mile too when he gets there.
Beautiful, well done.
Thank you.
So close in that Oaks down in South Australia, Greg Hickman. Let's get to Rachel King, who picks up 3 points in the Jockey Challenge and a win here in race 2.
Well, those two over there chatting for days, Rach, while we're just sitting here, but he was strong at the end there at the mile.
He was, yeah. Like I probably thought I might have got there a little bit soon, but he was tough late, and that's probably the earliest he has hit the front in his last couple of wins anyway, and so he had to really dig in and show a bit of grit today.
Was there a bit of expectation from the stable coming into it?
Well, Greg said is normal, which is I'd give away my licence if I don't win, so I don't know if that's him being confident or just Greg being Greg, but yeah, no, he was confident he would run well.
Well done.
$1.85 Inquiring Minds here, as they're nearly set at the mile for race number 3. Red light turned on, stand by. Off and racing now, caught them in a pretty good line. Favourite is near last early, Inquiring Minds, but trying to push through the pack. Owari was away well, Go Troppo also, and the Little Pumper deeper out early on. So Owari into the back straight is going to lead now. At the 1,300 metres, shows out from Go Troppo, and the Little Pumper is going to go on with it here. Clark goes around the outside to try and look for the lead. Behind those Inquiring Minds, he's ended up in a pretty good spot. 4th, the outside of Time Quest, and one away last of all was 1A, so pace injected. The Little Pumper, he rolled around the outside at the 1,000, and he goes to the lead, 3/4 of a length, Go Troppo. One away 3rd was Owari, and Inquiring Minds is 4th, the outside now. With 850 metres to run, Time Quest buried back on the inside, and 1A can see them all. No change to the order, they continue on down the back section of Warwick Farm, and the front runner is the Little Pumper. Clark's hitting hard against him. He's 3/4 of a length, Go Troppo. Owari 3rd the fence. Inquiring Mind is nicely poised in 4th before the turn. Then Owari and Time Quest the inside, needing luck. To the turn they come. The Little Pumper and Go Troppo led. Inquiring Minds peels now. He's 3 wide and looming on the point of the turn. Then Owari into the straight now. The Little Pumper, Go Troppo, joined by Inquiring Minds the outside. 250 metres to go. Go Troppo and Inquiring Minds have come away now. 1A later. 175 to run. Favourite's gone to the lead. Inquiring Minds. 1A's run to the outside and goes to second. Inquiring Minds is just in front. He's needing the post, but will find it. Inquiring Minds is too good and held 1A by about a long head on the line. 3rd in Go Troppo. Time Quest has run 4th. Then Owari and the Little Pumper.
Well, the Wednesday winner from Punters Intelligence, Nick Burney, take a bow once again. And to those favourite backers, well played. Got to $2 on the local tote, $2.10 on S-Tab and U-Tab. Inquiring Minds got the job done, albeit just. Dragged 1A into the race, and you know there was going to be some late strength from this horse. Fitness, never a drama from that stable, and 1A has closed really nicely to maybe only go down a neck or so in the end. Go Troppo was... well, left with a tough job, really. Was sitting there, got a nice enough run in transit, but you knew it was just dragging Inquiring Minds into the race, and the 3 will ultimately run 4th, that being Time Quest, well beaten in the end. But a couple of nice runs, Inquiring Minds beating 1A by a neck.
The margin was only narrow, but he was always in control, wasn't he? James McDonald there, a confident ride, rode it perfectly, got the back of Go Troppo, who took him as far as he needed to go into the straight, peeled off their heels, was always trucking and let down. Was probably there to be beaten in late if one was good enough. We saw 1A potentially take advantage of that, but he just got the neck down when it counts, and as I say, always in control. So he's a nice import going forward. That's only his second start in Australia, and he's got more to offer. That's only start 7, win number 2, and you'd think he'd get out over much further in time. 1A, very consistent mare. She's run out of a skin there at $3.40 a hole. If you found her, you've been well rewarded. Go Troppo stuck on okay, and good gaps back through the field, which bodes well for that being a strong enough form reference going forward.
Yeah, I mean, he's proven overseas that he's pretty handy over a trip. Most of the good form over 2,400 metres or so in derbies and co. But here today, I reckon off that month break, just about had enough at the end.
Yeah, and he probably just didn't parade perfectly, quite fresh. But he got a pretty good rhythm in the run, and probably will come on significantly in fitness. He's a big, strong bull, as you can see. So I think racing will help him, more experience, and maybe even the operation, end of the preparation. But there should be racing in him, and he should be interesting to see what James thinks.
Okay. Excited pre and mid-race, and a little bit of post as well. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks to Tom. Let's get to Brad with James, who's having a good day.
Yeah, inquiring minds, strong there at the finish, James. First impressions of this import?
Yeah, he's a beautiful horse. He's got really good credentials coming from Europe, and he was obviously won by 5 on debut over there, thrown in the deep end against some really good quality military order and co, and he ran pretty well. Obviously, if you're running at Royal Ascot, you've obviously got above average ability, and he did that. Showed good quality today.
You look like you were pretty confident, a long way from home.
Yeah, well, it's always hard, small field, when you're on a really nice horse. Maybe just needed the run as well. He was a little bit above himself, but presented in good order, and John will be able to pick his way through the grades, and he'd be a nice horse for them.
Well done.
Yeah, the margin may have only been a neck, but as you can hear post-race there from both the stable and James McDonald, sounds like it's a horse that they think is pretty promising, this 4-year-old son of Kingman. And it had been a while between drinks, but there had been a trip from one hemisphere to another in between. Inquiring Minds gets the win, $1.95 the SP, and $2.15 top fluck and even money. Tab fixed odds, 1A in for second, Go Troppo third, Time Quest in for fourth, 5, 8, 4 and 3, 3 races down.
Yeah, 3 races down, and 2 of those races have been won by James McDonald. That, incidentally, takes him to a total of 80 wins for the season in New South Wales. New South Wales as a whole, I'm talking about, not just in the city. So it's 80 wins for James McDonald this season so far. Aaron Bullock leads the New South Wales Jockeys Premiership on 120, followed by Ashley Morgan 115, Tyler Schiller's on 109, Tommy Berry 92, Zach Lloyd 87.5, Jason Collin 88, and then you've got James McDonald on 80 wins for the season, New South Wales as a whole.
He keeps behaving like that. He might not be an entire for too much longer. Now, Hieronymus getting back aboard here. Starter will be keen to get these off and away. Bullet's High 340 favourite. Off they go now. Bullet's High bounded out okay after all that. Oziggy won the start, and he's looking for the lead. Union Gap's working across as well. Also going up there, Thought Provoking and Nash on the outside, Natural Mystique. So they're 4 abreast into the first turn. Just behind them, Bullet's High, the outside of Anderson Bridge. The favourites are getting a nice run, and they're racing together as they go into that first turn. Mars a bit settling back. Humanity quietly today, followed by Gotta Be Savvy, and the last one was Broadfield. They go into the back section of the course, and going on Natural Mystique, it's going to run to the lead, and there's nice tempo in this race here. 1,400 to go. Natural Mystique into the back section of the course, 1 length in front of Thought Provoking, and Oziggy takes a sit third the inside now. They're 3 lengths in front of Union Gap, the outside of Anderson Bridge. He is centre field the inside. Mars a bit is on the improve but wide. Bullet's High about beyond midfield now, 1 off the fence. They are being followed by Humanity. Second to last, Gotta Be Savvy, and the tail ender is Broadfield. They go down the back straight and the speed slackens here slightly. Natural Mystique shows the way, half a length on Thought Provoking. 1 away third the inside was Oziggy, and Marsabit continued to go forward, is up to fourth now. Union Gap's next in the centre. Now Bullet's High pops out 3 wide. He's got cover there following Marsabit, does Tim Clark. Anderson Bridge is over on the inside at the 600 metres, followed by Gotta Be Savvy. It's further afield, the outside of Humanity, and 1.5 away last of all was Broadfield. A packing field at that too. These leaders are shot ducks. Moving up was Mars a bit to hit the lead, and Bullet's Eye's right there. 450 metres to go. He's up to second. On his back was Gotta Be Savvy. Anderson Bridge just appeared to get held up, but he's trying to build now. Early in the straight, Mars a bit, Bullet's Eye, Gotta Be Savvy, 3 abreast. Anderson Bridge 2 lengths away behind those. 250 metres to run. Bullet's Eye is just the leader from Gotta Be Savvy, going after him. 100 metres to go. Gotta Be Savvy's taken the lead from Bullet's Eye, who tries to fight back. He's lifting big time. Bullet's Eye somehow has won. He looked gone, but he's fought back and won and beaten Gotta Be Savvy. He just doesn't know what it's all about yet, the winner, but he's won today, I think, on the inside. Photo for third. There's a few queued up. Might be Mars a bit by the time I got back there. They're coming in at long intervals here. Anderson Bridge was behind those. Oh, Ziggy. Long gap then to Broadfield. Union Gap. Natural Mystique was gone at the turn. And Humanity and Thought Provoking have barely completed the course. Photo here.
Well, talk about picking yourself up off the canvas. That was a 10 count. I reckon they almost got to 11, but the Ace High, well, it's really thrived. That late bloodline has really managed to lift it over the line. We know the staying pedigree is there, and Bullets Eye, oh, geez, I reckon it's got there, maybe by half a head, but those low angles can be a touch on the deceptive side. Nasrawilla must have thought he had that absolutely shot to pieces, and it looked that way with Gotta Be Savvy, a last start winner who loomed up and undoubtedly hit the lead. I reckon they got at least a neck in front, but we'll have to watch the replay to ascertain exactly what that margin was at one point. The 9 will run third, the 11 runs fourth, so those two being Marsabit and Anderson Bridge. But the 13, well, Bullet's Eye, if you're keen to venture up to Queensland and contest a derby, you want to be staying late, and that was exactly what happened.
You're exactly right. His last 100 metres, the way he was coming again through the line, I think the temptation would be there for him to take his place, coming back to his own age and getting out over a touch further. So, as Luke said in the call, he's a horse that's still got no idea what he's doing. He did so much wrong. He wanted to over-race in the early stages, hit a flat spot, and Tim Clark really earned his riding fee that last little bit just to scramble home and get the better of Nasrawilla, which you often don't see in photo finishes. But Gotta Be Savvy did look the winner, made that wide circling run. We were hailing him the winner turning for home, but the other horse was just a little bit too good. Gaps back through the field. Marsabit made a dash there. He looked the winner at some point. Oh, Ziggy was just held up momentarily. But yeah, he's still got to learn his craft, but obviously a nice lightly raced stayer in the making.
Yep, Joe, you have some thinking to do now, and I reckon this horse does a bit of thinking too, but that was really strong late.
It was, and he showed that one quality that a lot of the horses won't have in the Derby, and that's that ability to just stay a trip. A little bit of thinking about whether we're taking there, but I think just going forward, happy to see him do that today. It's his second win now, and just knowing that we're working with a horse of really good ability, and it will come to him in time. He won't always be this stupid and lack this much racecraft, but it's a bit unkind to call him stupid, isn't it? He's working it out, and he's got good ability. We can all see that.
And, geez, these Ace Highs, when they are in a staying contest, they just seem to find that bit extra, don't they?
Yeah, they sure do. And David Payne, who knows Ace High better than anyone, he saw him in the yard at the start of the preparation. He said he's a spitting image of his sire. So, I hope he's half as good. He won a Victoria Derby, and he's on his way, this horse. It's just a matter of when it's all going to come together for him.
Okay, let's hope we see you heading north. Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Joel, and well done to Tim Clark. I'm not sure what his riding fee was, but they can double it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was hard to watch. What was it like to ride?
Look, he got himself into a nice spot early. It was a fraction keen for the initial part of the race, but then he got into a nice rhythm, probably from the 1400. He was able to have clear air and build his revs when he needed to throughout. So, look, he's still very raw. There's a lot of upside to him, but he's definitely a horse that's going to continue to improve as he gets older.
And could you feel him just surging that last 100 metres or so to raise a second effort?
Yeah, look, obviously Nash come to me and headed him, and he'd had a pretty good run throughout. So I was expecting there to be a bit more left in the tank when the second horse challenged him, and there was.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations to Tim Clark, who gets a win there with Bullet's Eye. First leg of the quaddie, $3.30 on the local tote. Got to be savvy. Had the race shot to pieces, but will have to settle for second. Mars a bit third has run well, and Anderson Bridge probably loomed into the race, but then when the others kicked, Anderson Bridge was just found wanting that little bit. But some thinking to do, and a promising horse, no doubt, a 3-year-old son of Ace High, and a promising stayer in the making. 13, 4, 9 and 11.
Play My Song is set. And the last horse now being loaded. That's Unstoppable. They're ready to run. Racing this time. Pink Cashmere missed the start. Land went away cleanly off the inside. Play My Song was fast away, and Perennial's not far from the action. When they settle down, Play My Song runs to the front. 1.5 Global Empire. Perennial third the inside. Then DeBello getting a nice run just off the speed. Fine Vintage looking for a spot, posted at the moment. 2 lengths in the field. Land win on the inside of Unstoppable. Best Intent the centre, then Fine Vintage. And Cinematic Star is last of all. Play My Song coming to the turn. 450 metres out. 3/4 Global Empire. Perennial's getting a nice run just behind them. Tries to push out on the point of the turn. Tight for room there. Landwind, DeBello. Fine Vintage. Unstoppable pulling wide in the straight. Play My Song led. Perennial out now. The outside Global Empire. Landwind's back to the fence and running on. Plenty with a chance. Cinematic Star from the back. 100 metres out. Landwind gets that rails run, and Cinematic Star comes on strongly. Landwind, Cinematic Star. They draw down to the line. Cinematic Star dived. Maybe hit a nose. From Landwind, there's very little in it. Photo finish. As for third, Pink Cashmere's there with behind them Perennial, Best Intent, followed by Unstoppable, DeBello, Play My Song, Global Empire, and Fine Vintage.
Oh, it's agonisingly tight. To the naked eye, I did think the 9 Cinematic Star might just get the beak down in time to pick up win number 3 at start 5 this preparation, but it is a very tight go. The 6 burst through. Landwind got a beautiful run in transit, pierced through, and it certainly is tight, but the low angle would have you lean the way of the outside, and that is exactly how it plays out. So the 9 beats the 6. The third placing is pretty tight as well. I thought the 2 Perennial might just get that ahead of the 10, that being Pink Cashmere first up from a break, but those 2 have put a couple of lengths on the rest, and in the end it was Cinematic Star, who's been in fantastic form for the Mar team, who gets the win for Chad Schofield.
Oh, she's going well, isn't she? That's now 3 wins from her past 4, coming off a third there at Canterbury last time out. Perfectly timed ride. We had one horse fighting out the finish who ducked up the inside, took the shortest way home, and the other one in stark contrast was right down the outside, Cinematic Star. So swept home from last, and a big win from a filly going forward. Still lightly raced. That's 3 wins now from 6 career stars. James McDonald did everything he could to get Landwin home, who was good in defeat. There was a big drift on her, so I think she'll come on from that and probably better off suited out over a touch further. Pink Cashmere up the fence, bit of an eye catcher late, and I couldn't really find any excuses for Perennial. Once he bumped into the clear there, you thought, look out, he was going to put them away, but just laboured a bit that last maybe 100 metres or so.
Yeah, you're spot on with Landwin. $6 out of $10 on the NOP. The market kind of said not today, and off the back of that, we can follow deeper on into the prep, no doubt. Cinematic Star just trimming in 1.5 late into that $9.50 mark on the NOP. And Joe's here from the Mar team. They'll be particularly happy with this daughter of Grunt. She's having a fantastic prep, isn't she?
She's having a very good prep. Obviously had one run last prep. Things didn't really work out, so give her a break. She's taken a bit of time. Just feel it doesn't carry much condition, but good ownership group. They've been very patient with her, and they're getting rewarded. She's improving every start. Like I said, she's had a good prep, but she's been stepping up in grade most starts, and she's probably the best she's ever looked. Race, obviously she had to go a long way back, but quickened very well, and she was good through the line.
Yeah, so that was the 5th run this preparation. She appears to handle all going with a win on what was a very heavy track a couple of starts ago, and now here on a soft as well. Do you feel as though we might see her have a couple more runs this prep, or has she almost done enough?
But while she's going well, it's hard to stop, and like I said, she's been It's probably the best she's ever looked. Yeah, it is the right time of the year to run in those kind of grades in town. And yeah, obviously credit to the team at Bong Bong. Because she's such light filly, she spends a lot of time out there, spends a lot of time in the paddock during the day, and that's why I've been able to keep her going so well.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
Joe does a great job with the Mar team here in Sydney, and Chad Schofield's done a brilliant job to get over the top there with Cinematic Star.
Yeah, you got the timing spot on there, Chad.
Yeah, it was a really good effort. We were always going to drop her in from our wide draw, and she seems to race best just given the chance to travel early, and she did that. She relaxed. But I will say she had a really good turn of foot when I asked her and brought her to the outside, and she quickened up sharply and she was strong right through the line, so really good effort.
She looks like an improving filly. You rode her at Goulburn a couple of starts ago, jumped back on today. Much different since then?
A big difference. She's just continued to improve from each run she's had this prep. I liked her a lot when I rode her at Goulburn, but could always tell she's going to just finish into a lovely filly, and credit to Kieran Meyer and his team for just nursing her through and improving her with each run, and today she felt fantastic. Like I said, she showed a great turn of foot.
Well done.
Thank you.
We may be about to hear word of a late scratching because the starter's on the stand. Just awaiting official confirmation. Looks like the red light's gone on. So here it is now. Broadcast. 3:46. It's out. Number 2, Flying Destiny, is a late scratching here. Doesn't hold them now. They're off and racing and caught them in a pretty good line too. Fleetwood off the inside was away smartly, and it's contesting the lead with Oceans 1 accredited going up there as well, and Physical Graffiti just drops in for a trail behind them. Kicking through in the centre there was Poker Jack at the 750. Stars and Bars is 3 wide, followed by Demanding Mo the Fence. Mad Darcy, Vegas Raider, Ringer Rose are the last trio. Fleetwood found the top here. 550 metres to go. Accredited's in the centre and just copping pressure both sides. Oceans 1 deeper out. A length and a half to Physical Graffiti. Poker Jack, Stars and Bars has been off the bit mostly. And then came Mad Darcy in the straight. It's Fleetwood accredited. Oceans 1 together. Behind them was Physical Graffiti. 150 out. Fleetwood with a kick. He shakes them off now. 1 in front of accredited trying to lift. Then Oceans 1 and Poker Jack. 100 metres to go. Fleetwood a length. Accredited digs in. Late Ringer Rosa, but Fleetwood is too good. Fleetwood all the way. Wins from a photo. Ringer Rosa and accredited. Behind those was Poker Jack, Physical Graffiti. Then came Mad Darcy, followed in by Vegas Raider, Oceans 1, Demanding Mo, and Stars and Bars never travelled today.
Oh, fantastic win, fantastic return. Fleetwood, James McDonald, 3.10 and $1.50. It is a photo for second, very tight between the 5 and the 9. It may be that way. Ringer Rosa certainly the horse with the momentum, but accredited trying to stave that galloper off, and Poker Jack will run 4. So 4, 5 and 9 in a photo, and 8 in for that 4th spot. But as for Fleetwood, one hell of a return from this Son of Encryption. James McDonald with a lovely steer. They were able to punch up and hold out a couple of horses, which left a few sort of 3 deep, and even accredited was kind of being buffeted from side to side throughout most of the race, splitting those 3 up on speed. But this gelding's done a great job.
Yeah, certainly has. So just a confident ride, wasn't it? So leave nothing to chance there. Barrier 1, straight to the front, stacked them up and gave a kick. So his first run as a gelding, and it was a victorious one at that, and justified a lot of late support there, Fleetwood, to win again. So we did see the late scratching there of Flying Destiny, 6 cents deduction for the win and 7 cents the play. So as far as the minors go, Ringer Rosa was an eye-catcher coming from the back of the pack. She's capable of doing that, and accredited, you're right, just copped a squeeze there, looked a little bit uncomfortable for a stride or two, but he picked himself up to hit the line okay. He's a horse that probably looking for a touch further than the 1100 metres, but they'll be hard enough to beat in a similar race, but pretty dominant at the finish, Fleetwood.
Yeah, I always think it's a pretty tough spot to be racing when you're outside the leader and you have a horse 3 deep. You just can never kind of get yourself in rhythm or dictate the speed. You're kind of at the mercy of the other two, and Fleetwood found that rail and found that lead, and it was kind of all over from there. So 4, 5, 9 and 8 is confirmed, and just confirmation as well that Flying Destiny was a late scratching. So we'll grab Darren Biedman in 2 ticks. Great return, and how often do we see it? Gelded returns gets a win. Fleetwood's always shown a bit of ability, but mine was on the job today.
Yeah, certainly was, and bad luck was taken out of the equation when he was able to bounce to the front, and actually won a similar race at Rose Hill under those circumstances. Actually, J-Mac was supposed to ride him, and Zach picked up the ride. I think Mac hurt himself in the trials or something, but no, look, he's a very professional horse, and he's one for the sales team. They bought him at Magic Millions. He's a bit of a cheapie, 160,000, so hopefully they open the purse strings a bit more and buy some more like that. But you know, he's by Encryption, which was one of our race horses, and he's turned out to be a pretty fair sire. He's only a young sire, and look, he's very push button, and there was good confidence from home, from Reedy and the team, that he'd work well between his trials and after his trials. So yeah, onwards and upwards. And I think he's the first foal born on the farm that year. So yeah, he's got the one on his shoulder, so that's always promising.
He's been a good one. Well done.
You win some, you lose more.
Thank you very much. Yeah, he's giving me my own gamble responsibly lines, Brad. You know he's going well when he's doing that. Over to you with J-Mac.
And he's ducked off pretty quickly over there. Darren actually said before the race his biggest concern was bad luck, James, and you took that completely out of the equation.
Well, yeah, he jumped so alertly from the stalls, and it was just basically 5 home 2 and keep him comfy, and he was happy where he was. But dare I say it, I think he'd be much better taking a sit. You didn't see him stargazing once he got there, but he's a very talented horse. The lads were saying he's working extremely well before we hopped on him today, so he's obviously riding was on the wall.
3 winners today, well done.
Thank you, cheers.
Pure Alpha just back to 370 here late in betting. James McDonald rides. He's looking for his 4th of the day. Red light turned on. They're set to go. Racing at the 1,300 metres, and Pure Alpha jumped away quite well. He's rolling forward. Out wide, Famous Padrille left nicely. It's tracking forward with Rocketeer Girl. Pure Alpha handy to the speed. Hokkaido next. Let's Try the insides kicking up. So when they settle down and go through the first couple of 100 metres, it is Famous Padrille crossing over with Rocketeer Girl, and Pure Alpha's ended up in a great spot. He's just behind them, the outside of Let's Try Hokkaido. 2 lengths Atlantic Ocean at the 800 metres, followed by across the Rubicon. Oh golly gosh, defining, getting back. So too at that stage of the race was Cool Lad. He's out towards the end of proceedings. Abel Willie's in that bunch with Setavelli. Gelatin. And he's equal last as they work up towards the 600 with Elsie May. Famous Padrille shows the way from Rocketeer Girl. Let's Try Pure Alpha behind them, just easing out now. Cross the Rubicon wider from Let's Try, held up. Then Hokkaido early in the straight. 275 out. Famous Padrille, Pure Alpha. Wider out, cross the Rubicon. And Abel Willie sidling up on the bridle. Here comes Abel Willie with a run after Pure Alpha and cross the Rubicon. 75 metres to go. Abel Willie, Pure Alpha. They fight it out. Abel Willie the outside with his head in front, and Abel Willie has beaten Pure Alpha. Queue up for 3rd. Cross the Rubicon was brave. Tries to cling on there with Defining. There's a photo between those two. Then Cool Lad. Atlantic Ocean behind those. Setavelli, Let's Try. Famous Padrille hit the brick wall. Hokkaido's well back. Sozo Golly Gosh. And Rocketeer Girl.
Oh, Abel Willie. Every now and again he does this. He just travels up to them like he's winks and puts them away, and you think, is that the real Abel Willie, or is the other Abel Willie the real version? Either way, $19.10 or $19.30 it looks on the local tote, $4.80 the place. It's beaten the well-supported stablemate in Pure Alpha. There is a bit of a gap back. The 7 Defining and the 11 Cross the Rubicon. Cross the Rubicon was a huge run. Thinking back now, I think it was 3 and 4 wide the trip there, and not far off the speed. If it has ultimately run into that 4th spot, it's done a brilliant job. But Abel Willie, well done to Amy McLucas. That should be one of our takeaways. And well done to Chris Waller, because they persist with this galloper, and that's now win number 4 at start number 20.
Yeah, that's what he's capable of doing on his day, isn't it? You leave him alone in the early stages, you bring him out, he trucked into the race like he was going to put 3 on them. Maybe that's just Abel Willie kidding to us, and then he just gets the nose down when it counts to beat Pure Alpha, the stalmate. In defeat, he lost nothing in defeat. Halfway down the straight, you didn't want to be on him. He was in all sorts, but he rallied again. He's a horse just looking looking for a touch further, but Able Willie now fourth up. A. McLucas, a lovely steer there because he's a type of horse you have to get the timing spot on, and she certainly did today.
Yeah, she absolutely did. I remember in the spring, Natural Willa was on board and we saw Aber Willie up along the inside, and then first up this prep here at Warwick Farm, we saw the real, I think it's the real Aber Willie, Chris. It's good to see him get another win here.
Yeah, as you said, he's a hard horse to ride, but Amy got him going really well. So, it never really looked like he was going to get beat today. Didn't win by a big margin, but he was always there ready to pounce and he responded well.
When his mind's on the job, geez, he travels sweetly. What's the trick to him, or do we still not know the answer to that?
Look, he's had a tie-back surgery, and I think there's just little underlying issues sort of with his health. Nothing that you can really see, but the team at home has said that he's never looked better.
Yeah.
And even last start, his run was probably a bit better than it looked from a wide draw. So he runs well here, and Amy got him going well.
And he gets a fourth win. Well done to you. Another good day.
Thank you.
Thanks very much to Chris Waller. Always very generous with his time too, Brad. We've got Amy McLucas coming back now, and she just keeps getting good opportunities and she makes the most of them.
Yeah, certainly. If you can make the most of your opportunities, particularly around these winter months, that claim is worth its weight in gold. So we'll talk to Amy about this horse. So, Amy, well done, first and foremost. He's a horse with a bit of a reputation as being one of the trickier horses to ride. You made that look pretty easy.
It actually felt quite easy, but I just let him begin and just had him in a lovely spot where he was comfortable and everything just went to plan. There was enough pace on that he was able to just travel comfortably, and I was able to just work my way off around the turn and let him go through his gears, and he did the rest.
And halfway down the straight, it looked like you were sitting pretty there. You had a lot of horse underneath you.
I did. It was quite a great feeling. He's been prepped very well for today.
Well done.
Thank you.